Howdy all Muglax Lives. I think it's time to play a little Cinders Die. So, I, I got the message that I put in my blocks incorrectly. Not my blocks, but my cement fixings. So that's getting made. I still need to go out and get some more supplies for that though. I think I've got a point I can spend. I wanted to see if I could increasing tool damage. Harvest more resources. Melee and tool stamina usage. So I think I need to do this, right? Reduce tool usage. Stamina is slowing me down here. So I tried to, I might try it again. It did not work, but I attempted to load my character into a new map today. And it did not work. I don't want to start over from scratch, but I would like to get, you know, the ability to quest and a store back in the game. And so I thought I would load up a new game and then put my character in it. And so I did start a new game, and then I closed the game, and then I put my character's files in that world, and then I loaded the game, and it seemed fine. And then I closed the game, and then oh, that's unfortunate. I loaded up to record tonight, and yeah, my inventory was all messed up. Everything was different items or not visible. There's an error message just run across the screen. So obviously that did not work out for me. But I might give it another shot. It'd be great to have access to tools or quests and being able to buy things rather than have to make everything from scratch. Nice. Looks like I'm losing 3 stamina per swing. Which means I've still got, a lot of stamina loss there, but not like it was before, where I couldn't just keep swinging and swinging for a while. This is gonna give me those stone supplies I needed. So here's a weird one for you. I don't know exactly what has happened, but we have an above ground pool, and we haven't really been using it because nobody wants to take care of it, and it got very green and so nobody wants to swim in a very green pool. And I don't think I've got any like coffee or anything on me. And so like they bought a new filter to replace it, the old filter, because they thought that the new filter would. So it's a long and roundabout story. We had a pool. It was green when we bought the house. We cleaned it out. I say we. I mean I helped, but it was mostly my brother-in-law, and so uh, he was all excited about having the pool, and so he, really put some elbow work in to get it cleaned out, and then we kept it clean. Like, you know, uh, we'd skim it and make sure we kept chlorine tablets in it and stuff like that. And so it stayed really good for several years. Uh, and About, I want to say 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, um, he just stopped, and uh, and so um, like it's cool and all to have it, but I'm not really running out to use the pool. I'd rather sit in my air conditioned room, you know, and play video games. Uh, and so when it was clean, I would use it, but when it was clean, it was just a matter of changing into some shorts, jump in the pool, grab the skimmer, skim out whatever is in there, grass or oh, okay, all right. So there's covers for the pool, right? This is probably where the real issue started. Is there's covers for the pool, and so there's the winter cover, there's the summer cover. The summer cover, um, it it basically traps the heat in the pool so that your pool is warm. And solar cover, it's called. And so that goes on, after you clean out your pool, or after you set your pool up for the year. And we live where it's really cold, so it freezes in the winter, and so you have to winterize your pool. And so when you swap over from winterizing, which has a opaque cover over the entire pool, to the solar cover, well, the solar cover just goes in the pool and floats on top of the water, right? So when you go to use the pool, you have to pull the solar cover out of the way, and then on top of that, my brother-in-law likes the water in the pool to be cold. Nobody else likes it but him. And so he pulls the solar cover off and then throws it in the lawn and then leaves it there because he wants the pool to be cold. And like I said, everybody else is like, yeah, we're not swimming in the pool. It's too cold. Oh, I saw I had this. Yeah, look at that. Nice. Get my scope back on my gun. I didn't realize I'd found a 2-time scope. And so um oof, it takes a lot of cement to do this. Wow. Okay. So I just need tons of stone. I've got to go find a better spot to get stone from. And so the leaving the cover in the lawn is not the best ideal. And so it got rained on a couple of times laying out there. Nobody puts it back on. Like, I was always putting it back on because I don't want to swim in the freezing cold water. I think this was. Oh, here's a rock. Let's smash up this rock. And so I basically just like, you know what? You don't want the cover on? I'm just not gonna swim. I'm not swimming in it when it's cold. Done. I'm not getting in it. My sister wouldn't get in it. Occasionally the kids would get in it, but not really, because nobody liked it cold except my brother-in-law, and so fine. It's a side thing for me, anyways. It's not like something I want to rush out and do most of the time. And without the cover, leaves get into it, bugs get into it, and the water gets cold. I mean, not like 0 degrees or something, but we like it around 82 degrees. He likes it around 68 degrees, which is freezing. And, I mean, it's not technically freezing, but the difference between 82 and 68 is a lot for a pool. And so he wasn't using it, but he also wouldn't let anybody else put it into a situation where we wanted to use it. And so the cover, laying in the lawn, got dirty, got algae on it. Leaves from the tree fell in the pool, and then he's like, "Oh, we should cut down that tree. It's getting leaves in the pool." I'm like, well, no, use the skimmer. That's what the skimmer's for. Uh, Put the cover on so the leaves land on top of the cover instead of in the pool water. And I know you guys like it as bath water. I don't like to swim in bath water. I'm like, well, nobody's swimming in it at all at this point. And so then they just stopped putting chlorine in it. And eventually he threw the cover back on. But it was, covered in algae and tepid rainwater and whatever. Well, you know what? Without the chlorine and putting the disgusting pool cover in there, the water turned green. The water's been green ever since. He's never gotten it to the point where it was clean. I tried to help him one year, about 4 years ago, I think, and because I get it, it's a lot of work to clean that thing out, and so I got out a hose and I started draining the water out of the pool so that we could scrub it down. And so as it was draining, we would scrub the sides down, and so we were trying to, clean it up. Well, it only got about, so it's like a 4 foot deep pool, maybe. I don't know how deep it is. Um, but I'll bet it was still knee deep when he decided that he went and talked to a pool guy, and the pool guy said, you should never empty your pool. And I'm like, dude, I went online. It said it was okay to empty your pool as long as you were careful not to lean against the sides while you were cleaning it if you had to drain the disgusting water out to clean it up. It's okay to drain it. No, no, no. His pool guy told him, never empty your pool. And so it had knee deep green water in it, and somehow he thought it was going to come back from that. And the closest he's ever gotten is gross white. Um, but it's never been clean in like 4 or 5 years now. And then was it this year or last year? Uh, the solar cover ripped to shreds, and so I threw it away and then just didn't get a new one, so it hasn't had a cover on it all year. And I'm pretty sure they ruined the winter cover last year. And so it hasn't had a cover on it all winter either. And so today I go out to get the mail and I'm like, huh, the pool is out of water. It's not empty, but I have to assume from the amount of water missing that it tore a hole in the liner somewhere. And that when the ice melts that the pool is currently full of, it's not going to have any water. It also shattered the ladder, which is supposed to be removed, but he stopped doing that too. That was another, what are you doing? Oh, I'm like, oh, I'm removing the ladder for winter. Oh, you don't need to do that. I'm like, well, it's going to get in the ice and the ice shifts and it's not good for the ladder. It'll be fine. It's tough plastic. And I'm like, okay, fine. It breaks though. You can buy a new one. So yeah, I have a feeling that we might just be taking the pool out. Or now that it's broken, he'll be like, oh, we gotta get a new liner for it, and we'll have to fix it. Well, do it. I ain't doing it. Can't get you guys to pick up your trash on the lawn after yourselves. I ain't helping you clean out a pool I'm not gonna use. What's that big X for? Oh, that's my chemistry station. What am I doing on rocks? Ooh, 2,000. I don't know what that translates into because I got to turn some of it into sand. I mean, I guess I could run out to the desert. Oh, my pick broke. Get some there. Yep. What else is going on? Playing a lot of Satisfactory. I've been enjoying that. I've started and stopped it a lot of times, but I've been watching some people play it, and it makes me wanna play it. Finished Cyberpunk. Talked about that quite a bit. I think I talked about the endings and stuff. I talked about the ending that I did, I think, and then in my Minecraft video, I talked about some of the other endings I had seen or played through. Yeah, it's definitely weird that the game ends with everybody dead and you dying of cancer. And there's no other ending than that. I mean, there's different versions of that ending, but they're all everybody you know is dead or doesn't associate with you, basically, and you're dying of cancer. The end. Like, wow, wow, this was an awful game. And I'm not saying you couldn't do that ending well. I'm just saying that they didn't do that ending well. I I don't know. There's a very distinct lack of any kind of closure in that game. Uh, one of the quests that so they sometimes you play a game and they'll have like different, not necessarily different endings, but they'll have like um because you did this during the game, this happened, right? Like Fallout does it. And So it's got one of those endings. Like after you get your ending, then during the credits you get phone calls from different people you interacted with, and so uh, okay, let's not do that. Let's do 1,000 sand, and then we'll do. Oh, it's on my hotbar. And we'll do 1,000 cement into stone here. Although I have a bunch already in here. Oh, but it takes a bunch, yeah. And so yeah, it's a little bizarre how it does the ending. So probably my biggest problem with the game is that, like I said, there's no closure. And so everything that happens just happens, and you never get to find out what happened because of what happened. And one of the quests that I really was interested in that just abruptly ends in the game was these politicians, and the guy is going to run for mayor, and so there's a lot of stuff, a handful of quests you do with him and his wife about they he wakes up and he sees someone standing over him, and he tries to shoot the guy, and um, then they fall unconscious, and when they wake up, there's no evidence that he shot the guy, and so they want you to come over, and because you'd met them from a previous quest, but they want you to come over and check, because the dude is positive that he shot somebody, even though there's no evidence that he did. And so you get over there, and sure enough, there's evidence that he shot somebody, and someone has scrubbed it up. And so um, they had gone with a like an independent security firm rather than the main large security firms that exist in the game, Miltech and Arasaka and stuff, which are big factions in the game. They went with somebody else, NetSec or something like that, and so uh, they think they think that maybe it was NetSec, but they don't know what's going on. I don't remember if it's NetSec, but I'm just gonna call them that. And so they, as you work your way through that quest line, you discover that the somebody is erasing and rewriting their memories to control them. Now, this dude is probably going to be mayor of the city, so that's a big deal. And and that's it. That's it. You found out somebody was controlling them. You confront them with it. The wife says not to let the husband know. I'm like, well, I want to know what happened, so I let the husband know. And then that's like a middle of the game quest, and that's it. You never see anything else the entire game about that. Like there might be some small nods to it that I'm not aware of, because there's like radio stations that I didn't listen to that sometimes have information about what's going on in the game. Um, and you pick up a lot of pointless stories and conversations that don't have anything to do with what's going on. And so I ignored a lot of those. And so maybe there's some more chatter about what's going on with those two in the game, but there are no more missions about what's going on with those people. You can't you can't you can't it's such a bizarre way they put this game together. You can't research anything. Like you can't go off on your own to try and find information about something in this game. There's just the quests basically. And but everything is set up to be like it's part of something that you would try to figure out, but there's no way to figure anything out, and so it's frustrating to have all these independent, like I said, 4 to 6 mission quests for the most part, and then it's just over, and you never see an outcome from it ever again. Um, there's um, like there's like the ending, right? The ending is a good example of some of this. Is the you're given choices for who you want to work with for the ending, and once you make those choices, then there's no more choices for you to make. There's the ending, and everybody else, like, it's weird. Like you're a mercenary who does this kind of thing. And then when you make your choice, it's no longer in your hands. Every decision is made for you up until the decision to decide, do you live or do you go into the cyber world? I don't know if they're all that, but the 3 I've dealt with were that. Um, do you go into the cyber world or do you live out the rest of your days in your body dying from brain cancer? Um, and so it's weird to me because you're the guy who researches and plans. Did you see that shadow? Speaking of brain cancer, I just saw a shadow and I don't see anything in the sky, and I don't give off a shadow. How weird is that? Um, and so it's really bizarre to me the way that you don't do any of the planning or the research or any of that stuff. Like you're just thrown into it. And the biggest one for me was super disappointing. Was that one of the missions allows you to one of the endings allows you to directly attack um, the Arasaka Tower because they're kind of the bad guys for the game. Not crushed sand, concrete mix. And once you agree to do that, then you just get thrown in to frontal assault on the tower. You don't get to work on your gear. You don't get to pick out. You just go in with whatever it is you had equipped when you decide to do that. No stock up on weapons. And once you get into the ending, it's even worse than that because they take away your ability to craft, which is how you get your ammunition a lot of times. And they take away your ability to save. And they also have some of the most powerful. I just saw movement again. I swear, something is out here. And so it's yeah, it's interesting that they would do that. It feels like a bunch of tiny like tabletop one shots that don't have any kind of connection to each other. But all right, with that, I'm gonna call it a day. So be better than the small things, lean to the light, and I will talk to you later.